Everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this technical orientation workshop on the Dubai Municipality BIM mandate update and the main step of preparing BIM submission for the building permit. It's my pleasure, our pleasure to have Engineer Ibtisam Al-Amiri, the manager, the section manager of the building permit in Dubai Municipality, to kick off the workshop and give us like a welcome word and few words about the scope of this presentation. Engineer Ibtisam, if you are ready, please take the mic.
شكرا دكتور علي. السلام عليكم جميعا. أكيد في البداية أرحب بالجميع في هاي الورشة ونتقدم بجزيل الشكر على الجهود المبذولة من قبل المكاتب الاستشارية في الفترة السابقة في موضوع تطبيق وتنفيذ تعميم نمذجة معلومات البناء. أكيد دوركم الإيجابي والتزامكم في المرحلة السابقة أسهمت وعطتنا أن نحن نتوسع وننطلق في موضوع تعميم البيم بحيث أنه يشمل عدد مشاريع أكبر وبمساحات مختلفة أيضا. طبعا أنا ما راح أطيل عليكم عشان أعطي المجال لزملائي يقدمون العرض وبالتالي ممكن تصير فيها حتى نقاشات، ونتمنى إن شاء الله تكون هاي الورشة تعود بالفائدة على الجميع إن شاء الله، وبجهودكم المستقبلية إن شاء الله بنظهر بشكل تكون مبانينا كلها تحقق المطلوب. شكرا للجميع على الالتزام بالحضور، وأترك المجال لزملائي لتقديم العرض وشكرا للجميع.
Thank you very much, Engineer Ibtisam. Engineer Qureshi, would you like to add a short welcoming in English and the scope of the workshop? If you are ready, otherwise I can go on.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ali. Thank you, Engineer Ibtisam. Thank you, my colleagues from Dubai Municipality, and thanks for all participants from consultancy offices. You are most welcomed. I don't want to add anything more than Ibtisam said. We have a long-term partnership with the consultant and even the contractor, although maybe they are not attending. But anyhow, Dubai Municipality can never improve and give better services without your participation. Mainly, this workshop is mainly to show you the extended scope of BIM. We started the BIM mandate since a long time, and gradually with your efforts, we are trying to increase the number of buildings which are submitted with the BIM model. I don't want to take more. I will leave you for the technicalities and for the introduction from my colleague. Thank you very much, and we appreciate your interest in coming. I am seeing maybe more than 250 participants. That is a very good sign for us to improve our work. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Engineer Qureshi. From my side, I'm also very glad to see the good number of professionals from across the AEC industry, mainly consultants from Dubai. And I believe that we have also a few people joining from other parts of the world. It is for sure, it is an assuring signal that we all have shared objective to enhance the way we design, review, deliver the building. So as Engineer Qureshi said, Dubai Municipality continues to lead the digital transformation, and building information modeling for sure is a key driver in this journey. So since the first BIM soft mandate, it's almost 13 years ago in 2013. And then when the BIM mandate has become active in 2024 for certain type of building and project, we have already seen very strong engagement from the industry. Later we will statistic number about how many successful BIM submission we received. So the workshop today is designed to build on this momentum, and it is an orientation technical workshop. So we will not dive very deep in the technical. We will highlight the update for the BIM mandate, so you will be ready for it, and we will highlight some permitting process related to the BIM mandate. Then in the third section, we will move to give a high overview of the BIM standard and technical consideration. The first part of the presentation after this introduction and talking about the purpose of Dubai Municipality mandate and the requirement, we'll go through the latest update to Dubai BIM mandate and explain some issues related to the permit process, as I said. But the whole end-to-end process has already been explained in a previous webinar. So for sake of time, we will share with you learning materials and links to get access to all recorded workshop. After having the overview about the Dubai BIM standard overview, we will move to a high-level review by Dr. Ibrahim about the BIM standard document and clarifying the requirement, expectation, how to get yourself ready, and some few best practices for BIM modeling and compliance with the requirement. It is a 90-minute, the core duration of the workshop. So before the live demo, we will go for 10 or 15-minute break. And during the break, we will ask the consultant mainly to participate in an online survey. This online survey is important for us to capture feedback, information, your certification, and your recommendation how to improve our BIM standard tools and services. At the end, after the break, we will have conclude a set of live demonstration showcasing key step in preparing and submitting BIM model. So we're giving you a practical insight so you can directly apply them in your project. We have optional question and answer up to 30 minutes. So if you have a question, you would like to stay until the end. So we'll open the mic, we will give you the opportunity to ask questions, and we will do our best to answer these questions. So let's talk about the introduction. Why is the BIM mandate? What is BIM? Why BIM is important? Why we are doing all this effort? So BIM is no longer, or it is not limited to design or to 3D modeling or visualization. BIM as a concept, as the comprehensive concept, it's becoming a framework for managing quality, efficiency, compliance across the entire project life cycle. And it is an enabler for almost all digital transformation use cases, application, and also enabler for other digital technologies. In the design stage, it enabled the development of coordinated and information-rich model, reducing clashes, for example, better coordination, improving accuracy, enhancing in general the overall design quality. And this is very important for us, always to focus on the overall target that we are not doing BIM for BIM's sake, but we are doing BIM to enhance the quality of building and the quality of life for people in Dubai. When we talk about the regularity perspectives, like Dubai Municipality or other regularities around the world, BIM allow Dubai Municipality to perform faster and more reliable review. It allow us also receiving the digital model support automation, so we can do automated and semi-automated compliance check, which accelerate and improve the quality of the building permit as well. The current mandate of BIM, it's limited to architectural and structural design. We will talk about these details later, but you should know that in the future, it will be extended for sure to include other domain or disciplines like MAP or more use cases to support not only the design and permitting phases, but also to support construction, handover, operation, so we can ensure the full multidisciplinary coordination and high quality for project delivery. The benefit or the BIM adoption, we cannot put them, all of them, on one slide. If we want to talk about the benefit for owners, benefit for consultant, for contractor, for public sector, but mainly, at least from our point of view, the BIM adoption will lead to a higher design quality coordination, advanced digital building permit and inspection services in the soon future, the automated regularity, compliance, having a kind of data-driven to transfer the building information to GIS system and digital twin and provide smart city services, etc. And for sure, BIM and working with digital model improve the transparency, especially if you are working with open BIM and there's no lock-in for the data, and the digital integration in general across the whole life cycle of the project. AI, for sure, AI need a good structured data, and to be able to use AI to the maximum limit, BIM with the structured data models which are compliant with the BIM standard will feed any AI application in the future and improve our services more and more. Since we activated the BIM mandate in Dubai Municipality in January 2024, we received more than 120 submissions successfully. And this submission has been submitted by almost 75 consultants. The range of this model, as you see on the slide, ranking from very, very small building, which are public building or government building, it has been mandated, moving to schools, high-rise building, moving to, for example, the Shuba 1 building with more than, I cannot read the number, I think 553 and more thousand square meter. And you see also how the range of the BIM model size in IFC format ranging from almost nothing, 16 megabyte, to more than 2.34 gigabyte. So this is other screenshot of the sample model, or not sample model, real project submitted to Dubai Municipality. We thank all the consultants where their names shows on the screen for submitting successfully to Dubai Municipality. So this was the first part from my side. Now I would like to hand over to to Engineer Hadil or Engineer Sirin to talk more about Dubai Municipality mandate and the permitting process. Engineers, let me know if you need to share from your side, or I can change the slide from my side.
Good morning, everyone. It's okay, Dr. Ali. You can please change the slides. This is Engineer Sirin from the permit section. I would like to welcome you all again.
Can you raise your voice a little bit?
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, better.
Okay. So I'm going to start with, as you all know, in end of 2023, the first BIM mandate came into, it was applied. As you all know, it covered 4 categories, which the first one is the buildings and structures exceeding the height of 20 floors for architectural designs and 40 for structural designs. Second one is the buildings and structures with an area exceeding 20,000 square meters for architectural designs and 30,000 for structural designs. Specialized buildings like schools, shopping malls, hospitals, etc. And the government projects, excluding only utility infrastructure projects like substation, like these kind of buildings. Can you move, Dr. Ali, please? Now, with the 2 years later, after the BIM has been applied, the second mandate came into being, which is beginning of 2026. Now, I'm going to explain to you what's new about this mandate. This mandate, the first mandate was merely for new buildings. It did not cover the modification applications. Now, this new one, we have done some modifications. For new buildings and facilities and complexes higher than ground plus 12 floors is now applied to it. It was ground plus 20, now it's becoming into ground plus 12. And as far as the area is concerned, previously it was above 20,000 meters square, now it's above 15 meters square. That is for new buildings. Now for the additions and major modifications, which applies only for BIM permitted buildings. So if your building is not a BIM permitted, this will not cover it. If it is BIM permitted building, then if you do any modification, like these 5 categories that we have added here, the first one is adding or removing floors, increasing area by 1,500 meters square or more, complete design change, change of main building usage, and change of building location within the plot. So if you do any modification from these listed here, then for a BIM permitted building, then you have to submit the updated BIM model. Dr. Ali, can we proceed? Now, let's talk about your submissions. Once you submit your application, okay, we'll see what is the permitting process under the BIM mandate, how it will work. Now, your 2D drawings, there will be no requirement change. You will still submit your 2D drawings as before, but your drawings must be consistent with the submitted BIM models. Now, once the application is submitted, the building permit system will automatically identify and require BIM model submission for these cases, the ones I mentioned previously, which are for final new buildings. I will repeat again, buildings higher than ground plus 12 floors, the area which is more than 15,000 meters square, and the governmental and specialized buildings. When we go to the major modification, also for BIM permitted buildings, it will include adding or removing floors, increasing area by 1,500 meters square or more, complete design change, change of building main use, or changing the building location. I hope you hear me better. Like, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Because some consultant mentioned that they cannot hear me.
Maybe there are some noises, but it's okay.
Maybe. Okay, for other modifications, like let's say you got a building permit, a BIM permitted application, and now you will do some modification like structural modification, for instance. Now the system will not require your BIM model submission once you submit, but it will automatically create a condition to submit the final updated BIM model before the completion certificate. So once you take the let's say final building as a BIM permit, after that, maybe you will submit many modifications which are not listed under the 5 categories that I mentioned before, like maybe structural modification, like maybe mechanical modification. The system will not ask you to submit the BIM model for this. It will create automatically a condition once the application is approved that you have to submit the updated model before you submit the completion certificate. Now, for also the same goes for the change of building location. The change of building location, the system will not automatically detect this change. It cannot read this change, but the submission of the updated model is mandatory in this case. Yani, even the engineers will ask you to submit the model. I hope I explained everything, and thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Sirin. Here for sure, you mean with area is the built-up area, right?
Yeah, sure. Built-up area.
Not the plot area. Okay.
No, built-up area.
Let's check if we have already questions related to these. If you have any question, please, you can use the chat, or I don't know if we have also question and answer chat. So please use it. Okay, so Dr. Ibrahim, I think now it will be your part to start talking about the BIM standard overview. Do you like to share from your side? It will be easier.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ali. Do you hear me well?
I hear you very well, yes.
That's good. I will share from my side. I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Dr. Ali. Thank you, Engineer Sirin, for the overview on the permitting process. And hello, everyone. Now I'll take over covering the Dubai BIM standard in a high-level introduction. And then we go a bit diving deep on a technical level, going through key areas that you need to consider when you apply or submit BIM submission for permit. So starting with Dubai BIM standard, what is the BIM standard? The BIM standard basically it defines the mandatory information requirements and the exchange format for building permit submission. The idea behind the standard is to make sure that whatever we receive from you is consistent as a data structure, so that will support consistent regulatory review. Also support automation. Automation is the key things because a lot of tasks we do is not manually. When we talk about BIM, it's all machine dedicated task. So that's a key thing too. And also support integration with GIS surfaces here, so the building show correctly on the map. Now the standard itself, there is a master documents. It's a PDF file, as you see on the screen. It's called Dubai Building Permit BIM Standard. This is the key master document, and there are supporting documents, few appendixes that you also relate to the standard. So the key two appendices that you should refer to whenever you're working on submission is B and C. So keep this in mind when you're working on submission. I will talk a bit more details on what these appendixes. The master file, as I said, is the key document that you need to go through before you start working on any submission. It's made of two parts. Part one is a general introduction, what is the standard, why the standard is needed. And the second part is the technical part. So if you skip part one, at least you must go through the part two, which go through the exchange information requirements. And this is a technical part. So it talks about the file format and the file size, the naming convention, etc. And this part, as I said, lay out the exchange information requirements and also refer to some supporting documents. So this is the master file to start with when you're reading or learning about the standard. Beside these master files, there are appendices from A to D, but in reality, we find out that most consultants really working closely with Appendix B and C, because these two appendices define the information requirements. Both of them are Excel sheets. The Appendix B define what we call it model attribute matrix. It's an Excel sheet with multiple sheets inside, define the elements, BIM elements that your model should include. We're talking about architectural elements, structural elements, all these type of elements. You can see on the screen on the left side is some of those elements. Currently, MAP is out of scope, so you're not required to do any MAP submission. Beside these elements, list of elements, under each sheet or each element, we have a list of attributes or properties that should be included in the model. So whenever you're creating your BIM model, you need to fill in these details. Now, we have Appendix C. It's complementary and mainly defining usages code. Because when you create your model, the spaces, you need to specify usages, right? For building units and spaces. For this, you can, of course, put plain English, but machine doesn't like plain English because, you know, you can have a typo, whatever, upper letter, small letters. So this is why we have this Appendix C that define the codes, very strict codes to use. For usages, building units and spaces. So whenever you want to define usages, you need to refer to Appendix C. So this is the Dubai BIM standard in a nutshell. 3 main files. You need to go like a reference to them whenever you work on the standard or submission. Now I just have this slide to talk about what the format you need to submit the model to the municipality. Of course, we know BIM models, there is a closed format, open format, etc. Dubai Municipality adopted open BIM for different reasons, but you can see on the screen 3 main reasons. It's open, it's not tied to any commercial product or a company, so it's open, and it's sustainable, meaning it can open in after 50 years from now, we can still read the file. It's a text file, so there's no problem reading backward compatibility issues like other closed formats. And it's flexible. Flexible means you are not obliged to use any commercial product like, I don't know, I don't want to name the companies, but you are flexible to use any BIM authoring tools. The point is to export your BIM model, whatever format or tools you use, as IFC. So you have the flexibility. Now, we encourage everyone on the call today to learn the basics of IFC. And for that, you can go to buildingSMART International website. There's free material there. Also, Dubai is hosting the buildingSMART UAE chapter. So we have our own chapter in the country. There are some webinars recorded on the chapter. Again, you can learn more about that. I think there is a plan internally. Dr. Ali is planning to do IFC workshop on buildingSMART UAE soon. So maybe that will be an opportunity for you to learn more about IFC in the near future. Now, over the 2 years, the BIM is mandated in the municipality for about 2 years now, since early 2024. And over the time, we worked with many consultants and we received many questions. Many of these questions are repeated, frequent. So we thought we can compile all these common questions, about 60 questions in a document, and add this document to the standard. So it can become like easy for many people. If they have a question, they can initially consult this document and see if they can find the answer there. So it's encourage you, if you have a question, if you are at any point in the future submitting, to maybe visit this document. It's part of the standard, and search maybe for your answer there, and probably most likely you'll find some guidance there. To wrap up on this standard, the standard can be downloaded from Build in Dubai website /BIM. There is an area dedicated for BIM. Not only the standard, there are other teaching material or learning material there. You can always, it's main reference point for you to get all the BIM material there. Currently, the standard is version 1.3, but it's subject to future updates because we know this BIM evolving with time, requirement might evolve to include other discipline or other requirements. So whenever you work on a submission, a new submission, it's better if you download the standard again, just in case there's some changes on the standard. Now, this is the high-level introduction on the standard itself, the structure of the standard, the key elements or key files in the standards. Now, we move to technical level now, diving deep more into details. And whatever I will go through now those 7 points on the screen, from the template to self-checking, Engineer Aaron and Martin in the live demo will go through the same steps, but doing it on live demo. But we thought maybe initially put those as some slides for you to know kind of the workflow, or the main steps, or the key areas that you need to follow when you go through the submission process if you are mandated to submit BIM. So I'll go them quickly, starting from the templates. Now, helping the consultant or the modelers who are working on BIM submission, we added some templates, BIM templates, for some BIM authoring tools. Those are not mandatory to use, but if you don't have your own template in the company, you can use our own template. If you have your own templates, that's absolutely fine. What you can do then, you can transfer whatever you need from our template to your template, like project parameters or other things. In any case, it's good to look at it, even if you're not going to use it, just to learn how it's being set up. It's not mandatory, again, it's just an extra helping tool for you. Now, let's say you have your own template or using our template and you want to start the process. One thing is required, as I said earlier, about BIM submission, that have to integrate it with the GIS surfaces. For that reason, the integration reason, we need your BIM model to be geolocated or georeferenced, because it will need to be shown correctly on the map. And ideally, don't leave the georeferencing to the last step. Many consultants leave it to the end, but should be maybe better to do it from the start or the early days of modeling, because that gives you opportunity to fix any issues before it's too late. Now, we have a guideline in the standard or some help to describe the steps you need to follow. Also, on Build in Dubai, there is a GIS surface where you can download the parcel boundary or parcel details as the XF file. You can then link this into your BIM authoring tools to do the geo referencing correctly. Let's say you finish the steps and you want to make sure it's okay. You can upload or the model. If you export IFC, even if it's not complete yet, you haven't done any real modeling, you can upload the model as is to the eBIM platform, the Dubai platform, and check if the model is located within the boundary of your parcel ID or parcel boundary. So this will assure you that your geolocation is correct. Now, let's say you geolocated the model and you are okay. Now is the modeling process starts. And we know that the BIM model is not a geometry, just geometry. It's geometry plus alpha numerical information. So I will cover the two sides of requirements, the geometry side now, and then follow that with the information requirements. Now, there are certain modeling style is not acceptable for submission. And most recommended practices we recommend here for Dubai Municipality submission is basically by large based on universal recommendation. For example, you cannot have a wall from start to top is one piece. That's an example, quick example for recommended practices. So ideally, you should follow the recommended modeling practices for geometrical features in the model. And there are reasons behind this, because if you follow this step, that will make life easier at our end and easier for the machine. That will ensure better visualization. We can, for example, view the model story by story. It helps in the automation process, validation and checking rules against Dubai Building Code. And it makes, as I said, life easier for the engineers who review your model by following the recommended practices. The recommended practices are also documented in a file. You can find them and build in Dubai website /BIM if you want to know the full list. Just a quick test of example of these practices. Like on the screen, you see a column on the left side where it's from bottom to top is one piece. That's refused or not accepted modeling. The right way is to model level by level. Again, this is like international universal recommended practices. Another example is where you have the wall, if you see on the left side, is intersect with the slab. That is not accepted, ideally or recommended to have it as on the right from slab top to slab bottom. So that's how it should be, level by level. For space height, for example, if you see on the left side, we have the space height crossing the ceiling. That's a wrong modeling. It doesn't give the right height. But on the left side, on the right side, we have the height modeled correctly under the ceiling. So that's the geometric modeling on the geometry information. We recommend you follow these steps. Now, the second part of the modeling that many finding not used to, some consultant not used to do this information, fill in to their geometrical elements. We know all that BIM model is not a 3D models. So for that reason, there is a second requirements which required by the BIM standard, which is the alphanumerical information. It's just the information that we add to the geometric elements or the BIM elements. What is required, you can find it in the Appendix B. So what elements you need to supply information for and what information attribute property you need to supply, this all exists in the Appendix B. So you can always consult that appendix. And as I said, you need to fill in the details for key elements like spaces, slab, walls, etc. Now, I already said why we need information, because whenever you add information to the BIM model, that enrich the BIM model to support many use cases for automation. Like generating building card can be automated, working out the total build-up area, total parking slots, etc. checking some space rules or rules in Dubai from Dubai building code, like based on the space usage that you tell us about using the usage codes, we can identify what space is used for, and based on that, we can automatically check the rules. When I say we, I mean referring to the machine automatically checking these rules. Also, we can cross-reference against some of your manual inputs in the system. I think you can always download the samples we have also included on the platform to see how or the level of information provided for the samples. So you need to kind of mimic the same level of geometrical information and non-geometrical information you see in the samples. All right, so now let's say you've done your modeling, geometry okay, information okay. Now you have a large model. We know that some projects are very complex, made of multiple buildings, and some buildings are made of multiple parts. For this reason, you don't have to worry about that. You can split your models in multiple files, IFC files. The naming convention is provided for you if you provide multiple files. There's no problem with that. But you need to keep in mind a few things. All the submission have to be in a single zip file, all the IFC files. No mixing elements between files. Architectural files should include only architectural elements, structural only structural elements. No duplicates. Each IFC file should belong to a building or part of a building. For example, on the left side or the right side, you see a building with 3 parts. This could be 3 IFC file for each discipline. So in total, maybe 6. Cladding and landscape, because it's complex to split by story cladding, we allow that to be in a single file. Now, finally, just to know the naming convention of this file, always refer to the documentation for the correct naming convention if you submit multiple files. So there is no problem with splitting your model if you have large model in your project. Now, saying you are everything okay so far, now last step is the IFC export. Now, the IFC export should be completed correctly. Many of consultant or early days of BIM submission, we saw some consultant just submitting any IFC file. Now, we recommend that you read the documentation in the standard on the right process to submit the IFC file. Basically, you need to remember to submit using IFC 4 format, follow the steps in the documentation. And we learned from experience working with applicants that many problems with the IFC export can be resolved using the right process or following the right setup. Bad visualization, very large IFC file, gigabytes. All of these issues can disappear if you follow the process we have documented for you. Now, the last step, now you say you have your IFC file exported from your BIM authoring tools. You have this, let's say an example here on the screen. I have 6 files, IFC files. So what to do next? Of course, you can submit for the municipality and get rejected if you have issues, but that waste of time. You see that maybe lead to some delays. For this reason, we provided self-checking tools for you. There are 2 options for you, one offline. And for this, you can download any free IFC viewer. There is plenty on the market, desktop viewers. And you can download the DM QAQC applications that check the information. So the viewer to check the geometry visualization, and our QAQC app to check if the non-geometrical information are bear the requirements. Again, engineers later on in the live demo will show quickly how to go through these steps. Just you need to know that there's tools available for you to do offline checking. Now, if you decide to go online for checking, that's also an option. All you need to zip all these IFC files in a single file named correctly, and then go to the Dubai Built in Dubai website BIM platform. And you can create a testing session, upload the zip file, and then it will take maybe a bit of time to process. But once processed, you can do the review online, from visualization to the QAQC to the geolocation, all can be done online. I recommend do the offline first because it's easier, quicker. If you have an issue with the model, you can easily fix and export IFC and do the loop again locally without hustling with the hustle of logging in and waiting to process the file online. Wrapping up my part is now assuming that I know there's many attendees today, but some of you maybe eventually end up submitting or need to submit under the new updated mandate. And for this, we put a list of kind of action plan, if you want, what things you need to do to meet the requirements. First, you understand the scope of the mandate and the process, and download the standard, the sample, get familiar with this material. It's not that complex, really, once you know the requirements. Build some understanding of the IFC file, what is IFC, and there's plenty of material online to know what is IFC and how to work with it in your BIM authoring tools. Learn about the recommended practices for modeling, and keep in mind the adding information to the model. And 5 and 6 is about self-checking, whether it's locally, as I said, using the tooling we provide, or online. When you upload the model to platform, you can also check the e-checking result, the auto code compliance checking, because this is not available offline, as well as the georeferencing. Once everything is okay, the last step, of course, submitting to DM engineers for review. This is when you are self-confident that the submission is all okay. It's kind of an action plan or wrapping up every points we covered so far from the start of the presentation or the workshop. So this is, I think, a good introduction. Hopefully, this is almost 45 minutes, and this is what we planned for the first part, because the second part will be also about 45 minutes. Dr. Ali, I think it's a good time to take a break now for 10 minutes, and maybe
yes, attendees
can maybe just fill in the questionnaire during the break.
Yes, okay. And please, Dr. Ibrahim and other speakers, there are a few questions on the chat and in the Q and question and answer panel. Feel free also to add comment or to help me to reply to them. So for this online survey, let me put the link as well, not only the QR. So if somebody is joining from a laptop, if you are joining from a mobile, or if you have your mobile on your hand, you can scan the QR code. Mainly we ask the consultant who are working in Dubai to participate. Feel free to participate if you are not a consultant, like contractor, subcontractor, MAP, BIM service provider. But please, when we ask a question about the feedback or something related to the BIM mandate or the processes, challenges, don't answer the questions. Most of them are optional, because we want to measure the a lot of indicators about the maturity of BIM and certification for our services. So our break will be 10 minutes.
Exactly 10 minutes, ideally exactly 10 minutes, because
so
we have
10
have some material to cover for the live demo. So please, everyone, if you can come back in.
Can you share,
Dr.
Ibrahim, the link on the chat for the survey if you have it?
It is okay, I will share it on the chat again. Yeah, but it's so solid on the screen now. They can scan the code.
I mean, maybe some people using laptop.
Okay, I will share it in a minute.
Let me put this one. Let me know if this one work. Work?
It does work, yes.
Okay, great. I don't know if Dr. Ibrahim, if you would like to highlight the questions of the survey, or to say anything about them, or not necessary?
I think not necessary, because a very simple question. They don't need explanation, I think.
Okay.
But if anyone has any question on the survey, please stick it on the chat and I will help you.
I think the survey is also designed to accept editing, like to be saved and edited later. So take your time, don't skip questions, give us recommendation, give us a real feedback. Regarding the question about certification with our services, it is optional, but even if you rate us like with the bad or not bad or good enough, don't worry, be honest. We will not look at the names. I shared my screen just to encourage the rest to participate in the survey. So as you see, the average time to finish the survey is less than 4 minutes. So it's almost 30 minutes, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And we already have almost 47, 48 survey sorry, contribution or responses. As we see, the majority are coming from consultant, and this is correct. This is good way. I'm also happy to see that the number of people who think that they have advanced BIM expertise level is the majority, 28. The moderate is 22, the basic until now is 20, and only 3 has no BIM at all. This is very positive indicator. Also positive indicator that almost 73 are familiar with the Dubai BIM standard. Almost 1/3 of the consultant is still using CAD, like AutoCAD, to generate 2D drawing from scratch. This is somehow not very positive, but we have also like 66% using BIM model to generate CAD drawing. Okay, so I think we almost 10 o'clock, we should continue. So I will stop sharing. Thank you very much for all people who participated on the online survey. We encourage others who didn't yet submit their responses to do it. So I think now we move to the live demos. Engineer Arun and Martin, if you are ready, please share from your side the slides and then start the live demos.
Okay, Dr. Ali, thank you. Let me share my screen. All right. So good morning, everyone. Like Dr. Ali has mentioned, I will be taking everyone to a quick and a short demo session to give an understanding about setting up your BIM model to meet the DM standard requirements. So far we heard a lot about the standards that is required for a successful DM submission, and you might be wondering how to download it. So you can go to your browser and you can browse buildindubai.gov.ae. It will take you to the Build in Dubai website, and you could find a tab called BIM e-checking. So this website would work for people who are in the UAE. So you can hit the BIM e-checking tab. It will take you to the BIM portal. So if you see this one, you could find, if you scroll down, you will be able to see a tab called BIM standards. If you hit this one, it will download as a zip file to your PC. The complete package will be downloaded to your system. You can unzip it, and then you'll get the full access to all the standard documents that we have mentioned earlier. Also, in this particular page, we also have the access to the sample files, which Dr. Ibrahim has mentioned earlier, that we have a preset sample files, which has been already worked out by the BIM engineers in Dubai Municipality. So if you need a reference, you can use this file as a reference to understand what is the level of information that you need to provide for your BIM models before the submission. So you can download, you can just hit and download this one as well. It is also downloaded as a zip file. It has different type of building types, so you can refer to the building type that matches with your submission. Additionally, like Dr. Ibrahim mentioned earlier, this page also has access to the different training materials. It includes the modeling practices, the submission guidelines, and also different tutorials on helping you to understand how the platform works. So now let me take you to the folder that we have downloaded already. If I unzip it, you will be able to see a couple of subfolders and other PDF documents as well. If we go to the BIM standard folder, and if you open this PDF file, and that is the one what Dr. Ibrahim was sharing earlier in his session. So this particular document, it is basically a guideline for implementing BIM for your building permit application. So like he was saying, this has got two parts. Part one, which explains the basics about the BIM, its normal terminologies and other information as per ISO 19650. And what is important for us is the part two. So if we go to the part two, it explains the different information requirement, basically the file formats, the file size, the file naming that you need to follow, and also the level of information which is required. So which includes, like Dr. Ibrahim mentioned, it includes geometrical information and alphanumerical information. So if you go through this document, you will get an understanding about what information is required, what is the level of detail that is required, what are parameters, or what other data you need to refer to do a successful DM submission. So in the submission, something which is really important is the IFC classification. So every model element in your IFC file, it needs to be mapped to a proper IFC class. So with a proper class, with the proper predefined type and an object type override if applicable. So this information is available in Appendix B, which is also available inside the BIM standard folder. So if I may open my Appendix B, this is how it looks like. It has a lot of attributes which is required for every IFC class. Like I mentioned earlier, every model element need to be mapped to a proper IFC class. Say for example, your door which you model, it is mapped to an IFC door category. Your parking, it is mapped to IFC space with predefined type parking. And if you look at an example of rooms, rooms are exported as IFC spaces. Okay, and these are the lists. So there are a lot of other tabs here in this particular Excel file. You can download and refer to this Appendix B model attribute matrix. So if you refer, for example, instance, I'm taking the reference of rooms. Rooms are
Can you
exported.
maximize the window, the Excel window, please? Thank you.
Yes. So rooms are exported as
Increase
IFC.
the font. Sorry, Martin. A little
Sorry.
bit, just to increase it a little bit to make it more readable.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. So rooms are exported as IFC spaces, and these are all the attributes that require an information or a data when you are working with rooms. So when you scroll down, you will notice something called a couple of codes and descriptions. So this was mentioned earlier. These are the codes which has been developed, with local codes to identify the type of the building, the usage of the building, and the usage of the various rooms that you provide. So this data about the codes is available in Appendix C, which is also available inside the BIM standards folder. So if you see this one, Appendix C _ usage codes. So if you open Appendix C, it will look like this. So it has multiple sheets, multiple tabs, and it has the list of all the information, all the codes that is required for the building usages and also the space usages. If I may open my Appendix B and Appendix C sideways, I assume the font is still fine. So here if I see, this one is the space usage code. And if you want to get an idea about the space usage code, you need to come to your Appendix C and you need to switch to the spaces sheet. And then you will see this one is your space usage description and this one is your space usage code. Also, if you scroll down in your Appendix B, I'm at my Appendix B right now, and if you see there's something called the unit usage code and unit usage description, additionally building usage code and description. So if you want information about units, you switch to your unit sheet and you could find your unit usage code and your unit usage description in Appendix C. Same is the case for building occupancy usage and zone. You have tab here for zone where you get the information for your zone object type and also for your zone code. So this is a basic understanding about Appendix B and Appendix C. I will show you in detail how these appendices works. Okay, so now I've been mentioning about different parameters or different attributes that need to be filled with information. So
Engineer
might be
Martin,
wondering,
if you allow me
yes,
just to ask for a favor for our consultant. As you know, it is very difficult to build a comprehensive and complete classification for all kind of space usages or zone. We are doing our best to extend these list to be more comprehensive. For example, if we are talking about school, we don't have, for example, at the moment, very specific usages like principal room or music room, etc. So that's why you have to then to find a higher level. But what we noticed usually that most of the consultant to describe the functionality of the building in a better way, they add more specific details about the use of the room. So please help us by sharing with us if you have in your companies a kind of predefined list of usages for schools, malls, hospitals, residential building, whatever. So we can try to harmonize and extend our list in the future to be more practical and that we have more alignment between the drawing or what usually the client asking you to add on the drawing or the contractor and what we have in our classification. Sorry, Martin, for
no problem. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
continue.
Okay, so now we covered the important documents inside the BIM standard folder, which was this permit standard PDF document and also this Appendix B and Appendix C. Now going back, you will be able to see another folder that says template guidelines in which we have listed a couple of commonly used BIM authoring softwares. So for the time being, we are going to refer the Revit BIM authoring software. So if you go to the Revit folder, you could see your Revit template. I saw a couple of messages in the chat asking for the template. You can get the Revit template from this folder. So this one is a template, and please note the Revit template, which is developed by DM, is currently in the version 2019. So if any consultants who are working in a higher version, you can easily upgrade this template and then you can continue working on this one. So if your company has that already existing template, it is not mandatory that you really need to use the DM standard template. You can use your own template, which is completely fine, but need to make sure that you load this set of shared parameters. So this is the shared parameter document that we have mentioned earlier. So you need to load the shared parameters and need to make sure that all the values are filled into the shared parameters, all of the parameters. So if I may open the template, so for instance, now I have opened a sample file. So this one is the landing page of the template. So this sample file has been worked out in the DM template itself. So please note the sample files are in the Revit version of 2024. So if any consultants are trying to refer to the sample files in a lower version, it will be a little difficult for those consultants. Okay, so this one is currently in the version 2024, and I'm opening a mixed use residential project, for example. Okay, so once we have the set of information filled here based on your project, what we need to set up is the levels. So setting up the level is something which is important. And if we go back to the standard document that we discussed earlier, and if you scroll down, you will be able to see the standard level naming convention, which is very important, and which, your file, if the file doesn't comes with a proper level naming convention, it is sure that it will definitely get rejected. So please make sure that you follow the standard level naming convention as per this document. So imagine if you have a basement, you have a basement 1, it will be coming with a prefix B1. If you have basement 2, basement 3, basement 4, it will follow B2 underscore, B3, B4, and B5, and so on. And then there will be a road level, it is as RD underscore, and what comes outside of your plot boundary, your external roads and all, you can host to this level and name it as RD underscore road level. And then please make sure there is a gate level, which is GA underscore gate level. Please make sure that all of your Revit files, IFC models, have a gate level. Then your ground floor will be GR underscore. All of your podiums, it need to be have P1 underscore, P2 underscore, P3, and so on. And your mezzanines with M1, M2, M3 underscores. And your so your floors, you can provide floors with F1, F2, F3 underscores. And your service floors, it can be S1, S2, and S3 underscores. And your roofs, if you need a roof, so the first roof is RF, your upper roof is RF1, RF2, and then it will go on. So that is how the level naming it has to be. Okay, so once you set up your levels, you need to, and with the correct naming convention, please make sure that your levels are in the correct level naming. And in case if you need to provide a reference level or a dummy level for the sake of submission, for the sake of your your modeling, if you need to finish your modeling properly, and if you need a reference level or if you need a dummy level, you can absolutely use it. But please make sure that you do not export your dummy level. Okay, so what you can do is you can select your level, and there is a parameter called building story. Please make sure that you check off this checkbox so that this particular level is not exported. So since this is my architectural file, I really do not need this level, so I check it off. So need not to worry that if we check it off, the elements that is hosted to this particular level, it will be deleted or it will not be exported. That is not the case. It will definitely be exported, but it will be hosted to the level below it. Okay, so that is something we need to make sure about the level naming convention. So moving forward, once we are good with our levels, then what we need to make sure is we need to set up the geolocation. Okay, which was mentioning earlier. So setting up a file with the correct coordinates, which is a real world coordinates, is really important. So you need to make sure that your easting, northing, and your elevation value, it is in the correct coordinates. Okay, so so imagine if you have different disciplines involved. If you have your architecture file, if you have your structure, ID, facade, and landscape, if you have these disciplines working in different Revit models, please make sure that all of these disciplines shares the same shared coordinates. Okay, and also I mentioned earlier about the gate level. Please make sure that there will be a DMD value, like 00 of your gate level. It should be equal to your DMD value. I need to make sure that all the disciplines or all the files, it follows the same DMD values. Okay, so once we are good with all of these, we are good to start filling the information for our project. So we need to start with the project information, in which, if you see, I am not going in deep to all of the parameters, but just a few parameters that need to highlight, which is this. Sorry, if I open my appendix C, which is a code. So if you see occupancy usage code, and occupancy use. So occupancy usage, you can switch to your buildings tab, and if you see this one, currently what I have opened is a mixed use residential project. So I have residential as well as commercial. So my occupancy is residential, also commercial. So you can mention both with the comma separator. And the occupancy usage code, so for example, mine is a residential apartment, and this is my occupancy usage code. So residential apartment, and in commercial, I have my shops. Also, I have my offices in this particular project. So I will mention residential apartments, comma shops, comma offices. The same codes MS0101, MS0302, and 0304, you need to mention in commas. Okay, so this is really important that you need to make sure that you fill the codes exactly like what we have in the Appendix C to the project information. We also have a lot of other parameters that need to be filled in, which you can easily identify if you refer to Appendix B, the project tab, your site, and also your building. These parameters, it goes to your project information. So once we are good with the project information, next, maybe for example, I'll only show one floor plan with filling the information for a space. You need to make sure that you need to fill the IFC parameters for all the model elements like your walls, your doors, windows, your floors, beams, and everything. For instance, I'm taking the example of a room. Okay, so if I take this room, for instance, on the property palette, you will be able to see. I'll zoom it a little bit more. So you will be able to see, yeah, under identity data, the name of the room, it is as per the design intent. So you can provide the name as per your design intent, which is absolutely fine. There is no problem with that. Whether it be bedroom 1, bedroom 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, you can provide the name as per your design intent. So we mentioned earlier that every model element, it need to be exported to a particular IFC class. So I mentioned rooms are exported as IFC spaces. So if you see here, export to IFC as, and I may zoom it out. If you hit the three dots, you will get the IFC. So if you search for space, you have the thing IFC space, the predefined type is space, hit OK, and then this part is done. Okay, then talking about the building occupancy usage code and building occupancy usage description. So you could see these in your Appendix C, which we discussed earlier. So this room currently is part of my residential apartment. So that is why I have used the code for residential apartment here. If this was an office, then you should be using the code for your office. Or if it was a retail, then you should be using the code for a shop here. And if you scroll down, you could also find a couple of Boolean parameters. So this Boolean parameters, it even gives a true or a false. So you might see your parameter with already a tick mark, but it is grayed out. Okay, so if it is grayed out, even though it has a tick mark, it doesn't mean it has a value. This doesn't have a value. So if you want to provide a value, for example, if it is true, you need to click this once and then the gray one will be dark, which means now the parameter is true. If it is false, you need to hit it again so that it will be empty and now it is false. So you have a set of Boolean parameters that you need to fill likewise. And then if you scroll down, we have a set of the codes for which you need to refer your Appendix C. So if I go to Spaces Excel, so this one is my Appendix C on my right side and I have my parameter on my left side. So here first I need to fill the information regarding spaces. So first one is my space usage code and description, which you can find it here. Since it's a bedroom, it will be part of my living space. And if I could check, this one is my code. So the description is bedroom, and this is my code SC_25_25_10. Likewise, you need to fill the information for your unit, which is available in the unit sheet in Appendix C, which is this one. So since now filling the units, you need to make sure that all of these are the different unit usages that we have mentioned in Appendix. So any of these comes in your project, you need to fill it. For instance, this one that I have selected right now, this room belongs to a 2-bedroom apartment. So this one is my unit usage. This is my unit usage code, and this is my unit usage extra info. So if you see, just copy this one, 2-bedroom apartment, paste it here. Now the unit usage code is RE_05, paste it here. Okay, and that is how we fill the unit information. So imagine it's not only for the apartment units. So this one, you see the unit number. So this one is as per the design intent. So this one means it's a 4th apartment in the 6th floor. That's a 604. Okay, so likewise, you need to provide unit information for all of the other units. Like say, for example, if you have shops, if you have offices, if you have amenities, your amenities also need to provide units. For example, if you see here, you have a gym. If you have a gym, you need to provide unit information for your gym as well, your kids play area. And if you have any other rooms, you need to provide a unit information for all of your units that you are providing in your project. Okay, then the zone is also the same way. You need to fill the information for your zone. If you switch to your zone tab, you could see the zone object type and also the zone code. So that is how we fill the information with referring to Appendix C. And what information or what attributes need to be filled, you can refer to Appendix B. So if you still need a clarity, you can refer to the sample file that we have already worked out for an understanding. Okay. Now, once we are all good with the modeling, now I show only the example for the spaces. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to make sure that you fill all the attributes for all the model elements. Okay, so now when we are going to export, we are good to export now. Okay, I select a 3D view, and maybe you can set up a 3D view for export, which is up to you or as per your company policies or standards. Now, before you export your file to IFC, you need to make sure one thing, that all the files, it need to be exported in unit meters. So before export, do this as a double check that your units is in meters every time. If it is not in meters, when you try to upload your IFC to the portal, it will show as fail. Okay, so always make sure that you're exporting in the unit meters. So go to files, go to export, and if you scroll down, there is something called IFC options. So this one, basically what happens is, like, we have already a set of parameters and we need to do a proper mapping of the parameters. So if you hit load under the template option, template folder itself, you could find this thing called IFC parameter mapping. Select this one, open, and then it will decide what need to be exported and what need not to be exported. Okay, it will set by itself, so things will be more easier for you. Just hit OK and then go to export and then go to IFC, and then we go to modify setup. We already have done a predefined modify setup, which you can use. What you can do is, it is already there in our template, and that's why we asked you to use a template in case if you don't have one. If you already have a template, what you can do is you can export the setup from our template and you can import it in your project. And once this is selected, then all of the settings, it will change by itself as per the DM requirement, and it should be in IFC 4. Please remember that. And one thing additionally that need to be highlighted is that if you are working with different linked files, imagine if you are working in architecture with your structure, facade, interior designing, all of it is linked to your architecture, you should not link your linked Revit models into one IFC file. It should all be exported as individual separate IFCs. Now, coming to the property set, what you need to do is we need to load a property set, and that is also available inside this template Revit folder. Select the property set and load it, and then load the IFC parameter mapping. This one will work properly for versions Revit 2025 and above. So you can directly load the parameter mapping from here. And the level of detail is by default set to low, nothing to do with the advanced. And when we go to geographic reference, so in geographic reference, you need to set this one to shared coordinates every time. If you are using a setup, it will be changed to shared coordinates by default, and do not override any values here. Okay, and this is the relevance of why we asked you to make sure that all your associated disciplines follows the same shared coordinate system. If all of them are in the correct shared coordinates, then all the files will sit correctly when you open in your IFC viewer. And also, exporting this in the correct coordinates is important because it is required for the model integration with the Dubai GIS database. Once we are all good with this, hit OK, and then we are good to export. And then you will get your IFC export file, and it will, the export time, it will depend based on the size of your project. If your project is it has a lot of geometry and the file size is too much, then it will take too much time for export. Be patient, and then definitely you will get your export file. Okay, and now you have your export, and then now engineer Arun will explain how to do the self-check and how to do the QAQC for the export that you have in hand. Thank you all. Over to you, Arun.
Thank you, Martin, and morning to all. I hope everyone is clear how you can get all the documents, how to
If you can
update
raise
your
your
model.
voice a little bit,
Yeah,
Alon.
sorry. How to update the model, the DM report standards, how to export it. So now what I'm gonna show, I will share my screen first. So these are the exported IFC file. Now I'm going to show how you can self-check your model, the IFC files. So always before you submit the DWF or PDF, when you export it from CAD or any other software, so you will have a review internally before submission, right? So you will check whether the tags are there, whether the hatches are there, line weight and all those things. You will check on the 2D drawings. So and you use DW Autodesk Viewer or any other viewers to check those. So for reviewing the IFC files, you need some softwares like IFC viewers. In market, there are in website you can get like quite a lot of IFC viewer. In DM, we are using a software called BIM Collapsum. So let me open it. So I have loaded those two models here, both the structural and architectural, both disciplines are there. So let me go through the BIM Collapsum. So it have same like all, it have file views and all the isolation, show similar, scaling and searching, all these tabs here. Here you can see the loaded file, architectural and structural disciplines are here. And here is the property table. If you select any elements, so it will give you show you the properties of those elements. So for our self-checking, two things you have to check. First one regarding the visualization, second one regarding the information quality. So for the visualization, I will go step by step. First, you have to check here. I will go first. Okay, so we'll expand this. So this is an IFC file with the proper IFC structure as IFC project. If you open it, IFC site, IFC building, then building story. Inside each building story, you can see the element associated with that level. So first you have to check whether the levels exported are correct. And so when Martin shows the Revit, as you can see here, in this file, there are some dummy levels just for hosting purpose. For example, here there is a lift room level. But in IFC file, you don't see that because that's not a building story. So here, you should only export the building stories. So for this building, basement, road level for hosting the road and external element, gate level to host all the internal landscape, hardscape. If you have any car parking, all those things should be in gate level. Ground floor, then two podiums are there, then 11 floors, roof and top roof. So in both discipline, architecture and structure, you should only export the building stories. So that's the first requirement. Then you should check whether the building is geolocated. So using this file here, go to IFC site, location. Here you can see the coordinate value. If you are exporting from Revit, then the internal origin XYZ value will be here. So you can confirm here, or else you can upload the files and there you can check it. We'll go to that later. So like this, you can check your geolocation is exported correctly, whether it goes through an error while exporting. So you can confirm it from here. Then the visualization. So just have a look around your model, internal and external, make sure every elements are exported. There is no error, none of the elements are missing while after exporting. So compare it with the Revit, or you can and make sure the colors are okay, whether it's look as per your design or not. So please go through that. Then but you have to check whether there is any proxy. So if there are any element which are not properly mapped, so please check that. Then you have to check level by level. So here you can select each level and click equal. So it will isolate the elements in that level. So if you have multiple IFC file, it's not easy to go through each file. So you can create a smart view and there you can check level. So if you create a smart view, it will help you to isolate all the levels in all the IFC file. So here, if I double click it, will open both architecture and structure with the rooms and all. So you have to check each level and make sure everything is hosted properly. So here you can see the lift cars are should be in ground floor, but when I isolate podium 1, those are here. So you have to go back to your Revit and fix the hosting for those elements. So here you can see some elements belong to nest level is hosted here. So you have to fix all those things. So once everything is fixed properly, the visualization part checking is somewhat over. Then next, what you have to check is the quality, the information quality. So first you have to check the QAQC. You can download the QAQC application. It's there in the standard file. You can open BIM technical question. So in page number, let me. Page number 12 will get the link to download both application. So you can do it now, the quality checking using this application, or you can upload to a platform, and there also you have the same tools. But for that you need to check with your submission engineer. You have to upload it, wait for all those things. But so using the app, you don't need to wait. You can just open the download those app. It will be a zip file. Unzip it, click open the files, go back to the folder, copy the link. So in the console tab, just paste the location, enter. So it will process the file and it will give you the QAQC application. So currently I'm running the building card one. So I have already, it will take some time based on the size of the building. So I have already exported it. Let me, okay. So once both the file application process, the file will be available in the same folder. So here those two are exported. So let me open the QAQC result. So here you can see the information report is ready. So just let me isolate. So basically you have the QAQC will give you 3 type of error: critical, error, and warning. So critical are the major things. You have to clear it all. Error, you should not leave a large number of error. So let me isolate the critical. So you have the message over here. You can select each message. You can read the issues. So it says that there is some issue with the elevator code. So please, you have to go to it, find what the issue, then compare with the appendix C, and you can fix it. For finding the element, you can copy the global ID, go back to BIM Collab Zoom, paste it in the search, press enter. So those rooms are visible here. So both have some similar global ID with some caps lock and small. So that's why both are isolated. So if you don't see the rooms in 3D, you can go to view and tick on the spaces. So the rooms IFC space will show in 3D. Oops, sorry. So here you can click the floor plan. So you will get an idea where is located, or select it. Under the location, you can find which file it belongs to and which floor is belong to. Then go back to your Revit file and fix the issues. So what you have to do, you have to go through each result, fix all of them. Especially the critical should be 0. Error should be within a decent number, should not be large number of error. So once you finish all those things, the next step is to generate the building card. So if you have still pending errors in QAQC, please don't go to building card. Go to building card after finishing all the information errors. So once you generate the building card, so the files will be inside the temp file. It's in the other folder. Yeah, temp file. So it will be in a zip file. You can extract the zip file. I'm extracting it here. So open the building card summary. So here you can see the information extracted from the model regarding the project number, the build-up area, the master main usage of the building, or the unit information and all those things. So it will extract areas from it will automate area from the spaces, walls, columns. So it will generate a build-up area and all the four type of areas, and it will compare with your manual calculation, and the comparison should be less than 5. So in case of any issues, you can go to the second sheet and find the issues, like you can find the root cause if anything goes wrong. So most of the rooms will be, so apartments will be hyperlinked over here. You can check all those are properly linked or not. So once you get once you clear all the QAQC, then only you can generate this. So, and again, once you clear the QAQC in platform, you can run the rule checking. Okay, so I will go to that later, about the rule checking. So make sure everything is clear. So make sure, and if you have a confidence that everything is good, then zip your IFC file. Yep. Make sure the file names are proper. Select both IFC file, don't copy it in a folder and zip the folder. Select both directly and send to zip. So now your zip file is ready. Okay, so now it's time to upload. So let me open the, just give me a second. Yep. So yeah, so you can go to our built into BI platform, go to BIM e-checking, here my section, there you can create new section. So just give the parcel ID over here. So once you give a parcel ID here, you can download the GIS information. If you click here, you can download the GIS information. There will be the parcel files. You can link with your Revit or any other file and get the X and Y information. So northeast coordinate, I mean. So give a proper title. So you can create multiple session for your BIM model. Some session just to test, like you can upload and test the quality. You can run the rule checkings. So once you are ready with everything, create a proper title, that one which you are planning to link with your application. Then here upload the file. So you can
Engineer Aaron, can you show
Yeah.
the GIS to BIM button?
Okay.
Where, because some people asked how to use the
So
GIS.
here, just click it. So it will download all the GIS information, your parcel, your setback, or it will be available in IFC and DXF format. You can open it in AutoCAD and save it as a DWG, then link it with the Revit or any other software to extract the geolocation information. So please note XY, the northeast coordinate values will be there. And for the datum, the Z value, you have to find it from your survey drawings, survey report, and you have to add it in Revit. Okay, so here you can upload it. Or double click and upload it. So it will process the file. So first it will upload, then it will process. So in case if you have any error in the file, it will show you a message BIM 007. It means that your file is not in meter, not zipped properly. The file is more than the limit, like 150 is the limit, 150 MB is the limit, and if the IFC file doesn't have a proper structure, it will not upload. So if you get an error, make sure you have your IFC file have an issue. Okay, so now it got uploaded successfully, then it will be processing. So I have already uploaded one application session. So let me open that file. here. So once it's done, you can click the I button. So it will open the viewer. So here you have, here the file is uploaded. So here in our platform, you can see there are so many tabs here. Model tab shows the upload status and all those. Same the QAQC, the one you check in your local using the application, you can generate over here. The building card, you can get it from here. The properties, which same as the BIM Collab Zoom, if you select any element, the properties will be shown here. The floor, you can load the file and you can load each floors. So here, even here, you can check whether it is hosted properly and modeled properly per level. And the main thing, the the code checking here. So under this tab, you can find the code checking. So it will give, let me load the result. So for example, we'll check this result. So make sure you are running the the code checking after finishing your QAQC process. So if you have any missing information, for example, the spaces doesn't have the codes, then your rule checking will not run. So make sure most of the informations are there. So now here there are 99 residential rooms like bedrooms and living room. Those are it will check whether the the heights are correct. So if you give color, it will show you the location of those rooms. And if you want to see it per level, you can isolate them. And here in this bar, you can select each level. So it will isolate per level and locate the rooms properly. So if you have red color, you can easily identify the rooms and fix your design later. So once it's ready, even though you have some issues in the rule checking, you can definitely submit it. Maybe there will be some false positive result. You can check with your engineers who are reviewing the submission. So don't worry if you have any failed rules. So please, then you can go to submit. You can link the session in your attachment, application attachment. There will be a space to link the session. From there, you can link and you can submit. So I thought, I believe I have briefly covered most of the checking things. So yeah, thank you.
Engineer Aaron, is it possible to show how to make the model geolocated? A lot of people asked about it.
So I told you that while showing in BIM Collab Zoom, I forgot, sorry. So here in the tab, that is a map tab. Here you can click setback. So it will open a new window. So it will zoom into your parcel. So this is the parcel which we are using now. So if it located properly and if you select each level, you can see the footprint is here. So here.
No, engineer, I'm not talking about checking the setback, the steps in Revit. If you are ready, if not, we can.
Okay, in Revit, how to check? Okay, so
Very
Revit.
quickly.
So from the download parcel, this is the parcel downloaded from the platform from Building Dubai. So you can link here. You can link the model to your Revit file, properly arrange the location, set it correctly. You have to do this step the way before starting the modeling. So link it properly, then make sure the true north and the project north are set properly. Like if the model will be landing, linking in a true north rotation, rotate it to the project north, and from the manage, from coordinate, you can occur coordinate. So just click it and when you click the link, the coordinate XY northeast coordinate value will be extracted from the link file. And for setting the elevation value, okay, here itself I will show. So if you are considering your gate level as 0, 0, better to go to an elevation. Yeah. I have to find where the project base point is. Okay, here. Let me draw a section over there. Yeah. So here, the project base point, you have to set it align with your gate level. So if you are considering your gate level as 0, 0, then place it above the gate level. Then from manage, specify, you can click here and specify the elevation, DMT value elevation of that gate level. So if you set that, then the project will be located in 3 dimensions. That means north, east, and datum value. The XYZ value will be set. Otherwise, if you just said occur the coordinate from that parcel, that parcel will only give you XY, northeast coordinate value. But the datum you have to set through specify. Yes. Thank you.
Do we have to convert the DXF to DWG first, or we can link the DXF as well? There have been a question.
It's recommended that you have to convert it because it's in a non unit set to that DXF. You can link, open that in AutoCAD, then change the unit to meter, millimeter. Then once you have to clear the unit there, save it, and better to link the CAD file, the DWG file.
Thank you very much, Engineer Arun. I think
Thank
we
you.
are almost 10 minutes or more behind the time, but not a big issue. So I think there are a few slides about the technical support. I don't know if Dr. Ibrahim or Arun, if you would like to go through them quickly.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ali. I think we wrap it up now. We are at the end of the workshop. So as everyone's seen, the live demos try to cover end-to-end, like walkthrough of the main steps. We understand that there is many questions you have. We understand that you have many questions. This is why we have a help and support team. As we said before, like for self-learning, you can go Build in Dubai website. There's a section for all materials. If you want self-learn more, there is some community efforts, also extra resources to learn. The links are on the screens. There is a workshop already on YouTube on how to do visual inspection using BIM Collab Zoom. Aaron showed quick journey, but you can dive deeper into how by looking at this community efforts workshop. Now, after all this self-learning material and everything we did today, you may still have some questions. We understand that. This is why we have a dedicated service for helping. If you go to GeoDubai website and type in the services section BIM, you should filter out the technical support related to BIM, the services for that. And you have 2 options. You can either send an email or request a meeting. Depends on the issue at hand. We receive this and we can arrange a meeting or reply to your questions via email. So the help is very available to you whenever you need it. Now I think that's wrap up the core workshop today, which is supposed to be 90 minutes. I think we just took a bit extra time for that. But during this, I think we answered also many questions on the chat area. So we kind of hit 2 birds in 1 stone. That's it, Dr. Ali, for the core workshop, and everyone. And thank you for your joining us for today. We will stay on the call, I think, as planned for another maybe 20 minutes plus. If you have any questions, Dr. Ali, we are happy to take the question via mic, or we keep things in the chat area.
I will open the mic. So if people prefer to go on the mic, please go on the mic. Otherwise, please submit your question if they are not repeated on the question and answer for feasibility, so we don't forget any question.
Okay, but
I
for
think
other,
Dr. Ibrahim, you can also go through the question and answer until I activate the mics.
Yeah. Okay.
If you
Just I
want to add.
was going to say for everyone else, thank you for attending the webinar today or the workshop. If you have no question, you can just wrap it up, and we thank you for attending the workshop today. Anyone have question, you can stay and ask your question. Thank you, everyone.
So now mics are open for all attendees. Do you want to go through the questions, Dr. Ibrahim or Hadil or Engineer Hadil or Sirin? If you can pick any question which is not yet answered. Mr. Fazo Divan, sorry. If you would like, go ahead, the mic.
I would like to mention something. If there is any question related to the mandate or specific to any specific kind of building, they can send a message through the general messages on building permit system. There is a special category for BIM. So if there is any specific question on a specific project, they can contact us through the general messages. Thank you.
Can you stop the sharing, Dr. Ibrahim? I don't know who has the sharing now. So maybe we would like also to have, if you would like to open your camera now so we can make a screenshot that you have an evidence that you attended the webinar with happy faces, I wish. It's up to you if you would like to open your camera now. Mr. Fazo, you have your hand raised. If you have any question.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I just have one question. As you mentioned in the initial, the BIM is dedicated for the G+12 building starting from that. In case if I have the lower category like villa or something, if I wish to submit the BIM, is it acceptable or how it will be?
Yes, it is acceptable. It's optional actually.
Okay, in that case, the DM system, I have to request the special request to add the BIM category in the application.
No need. You don't need to go for an exception. It will be available for you, and you can.
Okay.
You will see the link for the BIM, and you can add the model there.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
You're welcome.
There is a question, Dr. Ibrahim, about the file size limit. That 150 is for each individual IFC model. If there is a limit for the overall federated project size, I think this is a misunderstanding. Can you clarify the file size limit at the moment?
Yes, the file size now at the moment is 150 for the zip file for everything once zipped, not individuals or before zipping. So that's limitation put in place just to avoid having big, large models received where unneeded elements are in the file, because we have this scenario early days. Many submission were having proxy elements, unneeded elements like tree, cars, or elements that just not related to the submission process. So this is why we set the limit. So, but in case you have a very large project, please talk to us. If you cannot reduce the file, or even after following the process as we recommended today, you still have large file size, you can always contact us to see what the issue, and we will help.
Thank you. Is there any question? Go on the mic, please go ahead. I see few hands are raised. Mr. Hussam.
Good morning, everyone. It's maybe it's a quick question. As an independent, as an individual BIM consultant, how we can, is there any process or the criteria we can directly work with Dubai Municipality on the BIM requirements, or any kind of BIM as such?
Actually, you could work with the consultant who are registered in Dubai, but not directly with Dubai Municipality. I see that you are like a training center or BIM service provider, not a consultant. So at the end, it's a free market. You can work with the consultant to provide BIM services as per Dubai Municipality mandate. But we are regularity authority, so we don't have like active project, or our domain is checking the submission, not to design building. Mr. Hussam, I see, Al-Urtana, Al-Hadi.
Hello, everybody.
Please raise your voice.
Yes, I want to ask about, is it clear, my voice now?
Not yet. Still very weak.
Now, is it okay now?
Not yet.
It's still far away, but just we can hear you. Just if your question is,
I want to ask about the templates. We have a main problem always about the templates, our company's templates and your template. You know, each company has each template, so they have each name, they naming the elements different way, and the levels and the other parts of the project. So when we want to submit the model for your BIM, we need to reload all the settings and parameters from your template and renaming everything. It's hard. It's hard work. How we can avoid this in the future? How we can have template that it's okay for all companies? I don't know if my question it's clear.
Yeah, I guess it's clear, but we support those templates not to force you to use them. They are just there for you as a guidelines. But in any case, if I were in your place, I would just create my template one time using whatever I need to take from our template, DM template, and just save it. So subsequent project, you just start from your own template that is initially created based on our template. You should not do this process that I just described now for every project you start with.
Really, every time we are finishing our DD submission for the project, then we are repeating the work for BIM model.
Just clarify to me why you don't create your own template.
Because we have our families, our naming, our how we are naming the element. You know, each company is name the element with different way.
I don't know if I get your question right, but if you are really doing it for every project, copying what in the template we have provided, why don't create a single template internally that is initially using whatever we have in our template as you need to comply with the standard. And then for all future projects, you start from that modified, let's call it internal template. Engineer Aaron and Martin, if I misunderstood the question, please say more.
Regarding what he asked regarding the family name and all, element names and all, the element name recommended in.
Engineer Aaron, your voice is a bit far.
Sorry. So regarding the file name, the family names and all, it's recommended in DM standard is optional. If you have your own naming standard for elements, specifying elements and families, you can follow that. In our standard, there is a file name element family name recommendation. If for the people who are not into BIM, if you are starting fresh in BIM, so they can adopt it. If you have your own family names and all, you can follow it based on your client or.
So
But
we
for
can
the
you can use
what the
our naming for level and other things?
no, for the levels, I told you, specifically for the families name, for the level names and all, as Martin showed, so that you have to follow. So level name, the prefix should be there, but the description you can, but you can keep it there. And the BIM mandate is from last two years. So while starting a project, you have to accommodate all the requirements of DM along with your development. So you know it from the starting. It's not mandated today. It was there from last 2 years. So when you're
Yes.
starting a project, you have to consider that also.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
And there are some other parameters you can override all those things. If you learn about more about IFC, you will get all those things, all those ideas. There are some. So if you refer more to IFC and IFC's parameters and all, you can find more. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Just quickly to say one word about the Revit files. As we said, we not recommend any BIM authoring tools. You can use whatever you want to use as BIM authoring tools. We understand that Revit probably is the commonly used BIM authoring tools. We're not asking you to submit your original or native BIM models. Maybe in a few cases we may suggest you send them, but what is required is just the IFC file. You're not supposed, or you don't need to include any additional files with your IFC file, including the native model. You don't need to submit this. This is the first point. The second point is some people get confused about the structural model. We're not talking about the structural analysis model. This is different domain. We don't ask that for that. When we say architectural and structural model, we talk about the physical element, like walls and slab and columns are structural element. We consider these as structural elements. So this is what we mean by structural model, not to confuse it with the structural analysis model. You're not supposed, or you don't need to include any structural analysis model as part of BIM submission. Okay, feel free to unmute yourself and say a question. Not good.
Tana El-Hadi or core admin.
Hi, good morning. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, was someone else there on the? Okay, go ahead, please.
It's okay. First of all, thank you so much for the session. It was very useful. I have one inquiry because we already have one project, one running application with one project more than 15,000 square meter, G+4. We submitted after 1st of April. To fulfill this BIM submission, I believe it will take a little more time because we are trying to practicing this. So there is any way to take building permit conditions, then we can arrange the BIM submission later.
So first, when you submit the application, I think the system will mandate you to attach a BIM session. So
yes,
if you are still working on it, meanwhile you are getting comments from your architecture and structural and others, you can work on your BIM, and I think the system will give you a conditional approval. Then you have to close it later before starting the project.
Yeah, this is what happened. We already submitted 1st of April. After a few days, we get return application, but our all comments is CFR comments. I believe that return coming due to this BIM submission. So I don't know, we can just resubmit it without
if
BIM.
I can interfere, yeah, if I can interfere, the application was returned not because of the BIM. Obviously, you're saying it's all CFR by all engineers, so by default it will be returned. That's normal, yani. As for the BIM submission, I think it was released end of 2025, which means you had maybe like 2 months or a little bit more of a time to prepare for your submission. So I don't know what's your case, but you can resubmit and we can take a look at it and see. But يعني, in principle, you are supposed to submit the BIM model.
Yes, I know. Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Muhammad Hussein.
Hello, sir. Just want to ask you about we have separate model for facade, landscape, and the furniture finishes. So we have to export like separate IFC for each thing. No need to submit the linked files.
So if you have separate link file for facade landscape, of course you can export it as a separate IFC file. As Martin said, don't export all the link files in one IFC. All the links should be exported separately with the proper requirement level names and project info and all those things. To say all the files should have the same project info, the levels and all those. And for the furniture, the current mandate doesn't require furniture. So if you set the IFC mapping in the export option, automatically the furnitures and unwanted electrical and all those things, it will not export. So for the furniture, you don't need to export it. For facade, yes, and landscape, less. You don't need to add the trees and all. The hardscape and all, you can.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you. And same, it will be coming under AR.
Okay.
You can always check everyone appendix B. The first page it lists down all the elements that need to be included in the submission, whether architectural or structural. Anything else you don't need to submit. Only the one that is listed in the appendix B. So someone asking about reinforcement for structural model, no, that's not required.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Mr. Somebody called core admin.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My question is regarding that modification, like existing building have already been updated and approved, and in that, with that other consultant, and the project goes for modification with the other consultant, how that previously BIM model and all we can get and update on that, like further modification?
My dear, modifications are only applied for BIM permitted projects. So if there is any existing building that is not BIM permitted, BIM is not mandatory for its modification.
I think Engineer Hadil, he means that there have been a change in consultant. That consultant has changed, right?
If consultant have changed, then you have to request from the owner to share it from the previous consultant. You cannot develop a new model. So the owner have to agree that all the documents, BIM and all others, should be shared from the previous consultant to the new one. Otherwise, it's hard for you to model a new model just for the submission and for other drawings. And
we cannot
again,
get that model
and you have to. That's the owner should arrange that. And based on our mandate, the drawing should be extracted from the BIM model.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they didn't share your BIM model, then how are you gonna update the drawings?
Yeah, that's that like
okay.
Question is there.
So anyway, if it is a real project and you need support, contact us. We can see if we can help you to get the BIM model from the system or from the owner as per the regulation. If it is just a virtual question, so usually, as Engineer Arun and Hadil said, you can ask the owner or you can ask the previous consultant to share the Revit model or BIM model, IFC model. Okay, Mr. Basil Abu Alia.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Sorry.
Yes, you can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. I joined late the meeting. I asked a question regarding I have one of my projects working for the DM, the areas and the building generator card. It's generated to be -1. So I would just want to share with my export settings with you.
The area auto-generated area, if it give you -1, that means you have missing information in your space.
Yeah.
So make sure all the rooms inside the model it have all the required information. So if there is a missing information for a single room, the area will not be automated. So make sure. So after exporting the generating the building car, there is a folder called debugging. Inside that there is a folder called space. Open that Excel file.
correct.
There is a issue column. Make sure all the cells are empty. If it says missing information, that means the space have informations are missing in the space. Space means rooms in Revit. So you have to go back and add all the information.
Okay.
Then the area will be generated.
Yeah.
That's why you're getting -1.
Okay, I just sharing my export setting in under property set. There is I export basic quantities and export material property sets. Is this need to be checked or should I keep it empty as well?
Sorry again.
I shared a snapshot for the chat. It's include my export setting. So under property sets, there is an export basic quantities and export material schedules.
Yeah,
this
you mean the property set and property mapping, right? Those two browsing. Yeah, you have to tick it on and you have to browse it.
Okay.
The quantity takeoff should be exported. He didn't check the quantity takeoff. You have to check the quantity takeoff, so the space area will be exported as well.
Better you do delete the settings and open a new template, save it, and again import it. So you will get a clear export setting. And those two files which you are browsing, make sure that files are in your local, not in any share file or share folder or OneDrive.
Understood.
Otherwise, most of the DM required parameters, custom made parameters will not get export.
Okay.
If you didn't browse it.
Engineer Shafiq, and please don't ask very complex question, Shafiq. I know you.
Assalamu alaikum, engineer.
Salam.
No, it's just a small query. Like because Engineer Martin explained that we have an option for export settings. It was like application menu, export, options, and IFC. This is till 2024 only. In 2024, they have some updates. Okay, so if you can explain this one, it will be better because all my team was asking this question in 2025 version.
I think in 2020, you mean the export
export
mapping,
option,
right?
yes, yeah, mapping.
Okay.
So if you can share the screen, yes.
If you
Just
want to
share
share,
the
I need
screen.
to open the. Is it your screen open?
Oh yeah, 1 minute.
Because I need to open the Revit. It will take time. If you have it open, then fine. Again, so the property mapping in 2025, above 2024, you can find it in the modify setup. So
I cannot share the screen.
Okay.
It's declined.
Okay, let me open the file first.
So
please go ahead with other questions. So once it opens, I will share my screen.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello, go ahead.
My question is this one for the structure model. For example, this IFC class, okay, we will provide for the structure elements, but all other information which we give in the architecture model, for example, the rooms and areas and other things, this also need in the structure model or no need?
No, mostly the areas and area calculation and rooms, it's in the architectural file, not in structural. Structural, there should not be any rooms. Areas, you don't need to add in structural. All those things should be in architectural model.
Yeah, actually, this is just need confirmation for the same project. So, because the models will be separate, no?
No.
So no need any in this information.
Even the QAQC will check the architectural file, not the structural.
Okay, so only in the structure model we will provide only the class, IFC class only, any columns and the slabs and foundation, everything like this.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And the level names and all should be there, and the project information should be same as except the area. All other information should be same as the architecture.
The level also should be the same as per this.
Yeah, same. So in architectural, if it's FFL level, in structural, if you are exporting SSL 10 centimeter below, then only XSL level.
And the naming also should be follow as given in the standard.
Same. The prefix should be same. The description you can keep structural SSL level or FFL level.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Muhammad Hamar Al-Masri.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Just a small query regarding the families. My question, how is the quality of families used on the model evaluated in terms of naming convention and level of details, LOD, and data structure? And are there any specific standards that must be followed to avoid any model rejections?
I think Engineer Aaron already said that the family name convention is optional. We don't use it in our compliance check. But if you have a standard naming convention, why not use it? It will help us to better review your model. For the standard or criteria for the family, we prefer to have, when you submit to Dubai Municipality, a family which are not over like the precisions or the LOD to be not very high without any added value. So do your best to simplify your family so we can have a reduced file size when you convert to IFC model.
Okay. Can I ask one more question, please?
Yes.
Regarding the exporting to IFC, how can we avoid to data lose when exporting from Revit to IFC, especially for custom parameters and families? Because from experience, IFC export often causes like data losses.
I believe if you follow the instructions and you use our provided BIM template and the shared parameter and the property set setting and all other configuration, you will have less issues. And as we said, we already have more than 220 successfully BIM submission. So maybe it will cost you some effort to learn about to try and to learn about the IFC export and to somehow build a capacity in your team to understand how the best modeling practice and how to ensure that the information are included in the model, maybe by using predefined sheet or Dynamo script or interoperability tools or any other plugin. And we don't have any issue with missing information from the consultant who already submitted. Of course, if you forget, for example, to check, for example, the boundary space, the space boundary or quantity takeoff or any other, you will have misinformation. But if you master how to deal with exporting IFC model, you will be able to export all information, almost all information. Maybe there are some Revit native information. Other software like ArchiCAD, maybe they have more flexibility and more better quality of IFC model, but we have to live with the fact that you have to go through this process to reduce the file size and ensure that all properties and information, classification, etc., are included. Okay, Mr. Hashim Hani.
So I will.
Okay, Arun,
yeah.
you want to show the.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. So for the question Shafiq asked, so here go to the modify setup. Here you can see category mapping. Click here. Import. You can load the file here. Okay. Then from the drop down, select it. So now from 2025, these options not in option IFC option. So hit directly here in the modify setup. Thank you.
Mr. Absar Mukaddam.
Hello. Yes, Mr. Hisham.
Or Hashim.
I have
Hisham
one question.
first, yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time and support. We really appreciate your effort. Now I have really small questions. First one is for the file name, the project file name, according to BIM standard by Dubai. We have two fields in the beginning, which is the project number and the building number. Now I guess the building number will be provided by us as the consultant, but for the project number, I really don't know how where to get it from.
Project number, your application number. So the when you submit an application, you have the project number in the application, right? So the application there will be dash dash. So first part that's your project number, and second building number you can number it 1, 2, 3. If you have multiple buildings, 1, 2, 3 you can follow.
Yeah, and this is not only for the building number, also for the section or the zones of the building. So if I have separate links for the podium and the tower, this will be considered as different building number, right?
No, same building number 1 with the last after AR. There will be like there is an option of 001. So there you can number 1, 2, 3 for each different files.
The name convention doesn't include zones, but if you read the BIM standard, you will see a kind of standard for model segregation. But we are not following, for example, UK Annex or similar, where you can go further with defining like zones or area in the project. We stop at the building floor, and sometimes we divide the building two parts to make the IFC import and export easier. But no zone in the name convention. Okay.
Okay, one more question, small question.
Okay.
I have separated the files for sheet model so we can annotate faster. So we modeled or we created the rooms in the sheet model to be able to extract data easily, like streamlining the data export using Dynamo and Excel. So should I export the rooms separately as a file, or should I have it included in the architectural model?
Engineer Aaron or Dr. Ibrahim?
Can you please repeat the question again?
I have created the rooms, which is going to be IFC spaces, in a separate model. So we would be able to streamline the data, export and import, like room finishes and such. So when I export the file that only have rooms, only architectural rooms, and add it to the files like architectural, have 3 files, like one for the current shell, one for the podium, and one for the interior. So now we will have additional one, but it will only have rooms. Is that going to be
fine? It's fine. Perfect.
Okay.
So it's
Thank you
okay.
very
So
much.
better not to add the rooms in all the files, like few files in external, like facade, few files in the internal, few files in the podium.
Yeah,
From
exactly.
so that will be hard for you to manage the information. So each file you have to manage the room information. So or if you have all the rooms in a separate file, that it will be easy for you to even the managing, even in inputting the data, rather than having it in different files. So it's a good option to have a separate file for rooms.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Absar.
Hi, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, sorry to ask for this. Actually, I am missed the major part of the meeting.
Can you raise your voice a little bit or talk slowly?
Actually, I have missed the major part of this meeting. So, can I get some kind of content in the form of PDF or something like that?
You will get the record session. You can access the record.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Engineer Omar Fargali.
Hey, Dr. Ali. Thank you for the.
Hi,
marhaba bik. Thank you for the session. We have successfully delivered a couple of projects, residential tower to the DM, but we are facing an issue because currently it takes time for us to prepare the DM submission. So we model the typical floors as one model, and we copy it to in the combined model to let's say we have 10 typical floors, we model only one, and then we copy it to create the combined model. But when we export to IFC, we only have an option to export linked file in IFC project. But I don't think this option works for the DM submission.
We told you, so you should not export link files. All the link files should be separately exported.
Yeah, I get it, but now when we prepare for the DM submission, we have to link everything, bind it in one model to share it to the DM. You
Yeah.
can understand that we'll have to detach the model and create a separate model for the DM submission
So you
specifically.
have to consider all that thing while you are developing your model.
Yeah.
So you have to keep it in there.
That will be very difficult.
I told you, it's been there for a long time. It's not started today, so regarding the requirements. So you have to consider all that thing when you start developing.
Yeah, I get it. It's very difficult because it takes a lot of time from the teams if they have to do it in one model. So yeah, we'll have
you don't
to
need
live
to.
with it.
Like if you have a typical model for the typical flow, just
Yeah.
bind that as a separate file. You don't include it in the main file. So the main file will be always your working model, and you will be linking others with your working model. No, so at least maybe you have to do some here and there exercise to fulfill the requirement.
Okay, but we're facing an issue with if we had to do modification to the model, we have to do it 2 times. So that's why, yeah, you get the concern.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Revit can Autodesk can solve it in the future.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
issue.
Autodesk, I think they announced that in the new version or in the format that the export of IFC has been radically accelerated. I hope this will be true. So maybe if you are using Forma or ACC, maybe you can export the IFC model on the cloud, so you don't depend on your hardware. And at the same time, if we talk about a typical floor, maybe you can start by modeling one typical floor, create a BIM session, check the QAQC for one typical floor, check the compliance check about building regulation for one typical floor. And when you believe that everything is fine, then you can copy and then edit the unit number, because unit number will be maybe changed, because at the end of the day, the model submitted, we will convert them to GIS and we will connect them later with maybe Dubai Land Department, with DIWA, with other information. So we cannot say that if it is a typical floor, it is enough to have it only once. Unfortunately, we need to have the geometry of typical floor repeated as by the number of typical floor at moment. Who knows, maybe in the future, as you said, maybe Autodesk or other software will have the option somehow to select a floor and say this is a typical floor, please virtually copy it many times, and may find a way even in IFC standard to deal with such real cases. But at the moment, as Aaron said, you have somehow to do some work, and maybe it can be automated by Dynamo or other tools. So Mr. STR Access EC.com. Look like it's the account of the company. Please go ahead if you have a question. We have only one hand raised.
But engineer, I think we don't need to, sorry for interfering, but I think we don't need to bind all the links because already we submitted one project with different links. If you allow me, I can share the screen because now I have the option. So it will be helpful for others to explain.
No need, Mr. Shafiq, to share now because we're actually really very late now, almost 1 hour late. But we encourage all consultant or all colleagues to ask on the LinkedIn or to send requests. And if you feel like you would like Mr. Shafiq or any consultant who successfully submitted to Dubai Municipality few BIM submission to deliver a webinar about we did this once with Shuba, if you remember. So if you wish also to prepare a kind of webinar for lesson learned, best practices, talking about solving such complex issues, please contact me and we can work together to deliver a webinar to address such issues. So I believe, I don't know, we should maybe conclude the meeting, Dr. Ibrahim, or do we believe we should stay more?
I think we can conclude, Dr. Ali. I think we answered many questions. But if anyone still have any question, by all means, you can reach out during through the channels we shared with you today, GeoDubai website, and we're happy to communicate any messages with you on that matter. Yes, Dr. Ali, I think we are
So
done.
in this, because we are now concluding the workshop, thank you for all people who participated, for all people who stay until the end. And of course, I extend my thankful to the speakers, Dr. Ibrahim, Engineer Hadil, Engineer Sirin, Engineer Martin, Engineer Ahmad, Engineer Aaron as well, for your great effort to prepare this workshop. Thank you for people who participated actively in our survey. Maybe it's worth to show you some key live result of the survey. We are happy that the majority was consultant. This is the correct. Most of people said they are BIM coordinator. We have also senior architect. We have BIM lead. So I think this mix of roles is also very positive. What is positive also that we see at least 25% said they joined through the social media. So we'll do this again in the future to share the invitation. I'm happy to see that majority of companies are claiming to have moderate and advanced level of BIM adoption or expertise, and this is very positive compared to the survey we did formally in 2021. I'm happy also to see that majority of people said they are aware about and familiar with the BIM standard, and only like 90% they are not aware. I'm also happy to see that most of people, or more than the half, or 61%, are also familiar with IFC standard. This is very positive. It's as expected. The most two big challenges for BIM adoption in the companies are that the BIM is not required by the client. I think it is required by government, which give you at least more reason or more push to adopt BIM, even if it is not required by the client, because at the end we will go down into smaller building, more type of building. So you have to be ready for the BIM expansion in the future. And as I believe also from the point of view of the business, that most of companies are under pressure of delivering multiple projects in parallel, so they don't maybe have time to invest in BIM or to make this transition to BIM. I think the leader in these companies should do a pilot project or strategic planning for how to adopt BIM soon in their company. The last question maybe about CAD. Here I'm not so happy because we already see that 25% is still using CAD from scratch, like Autodesk, AutoCAD, not using BIM at all. I think it is good to search for a software which support BIM. There are many of them. Maybe if you are, I believe most of these people are designing private villas, so you can use a SketchUp, for example. It's a very economic option. You can use Bonsai BIM or Blender BIM. Maybe it is will be good enough for villas somehow. What else? About certification with our services. Okay, we have 1/3, 2/3 are very satisfied, and 1/3 is somewhat satisfied. We accept this as a fact that we have to improve our services. And when you are a regularity authority, it is very difficult to have all people satisfied or happy. I hope you know that. At the end, a lot of people are interested to have certification. We are working on a kind of learning path or certification or something related to the AQ system in the future. So keep tuned. And most of people prefer the online session, and 20 or like 17% prefer in-person session. Maybe in the future we will start by providing in-person session to the new companies who are under the BIM mandate. So if you are interested, please contact us. How ready are you? This is an important question for submitting BIM model for all building type. I think this is very positive that more than the half are ready, and 34% are somehow ready, and only the minority, like 7%, not ready. This gives us a very positive indicator to go ahead and try to extend our BIM standard and BIM mandate to to even to villas in the future or a smaller building. So thank you again very, very much for attending the workshop and for staying with us. We will upload the recording after some editing on the Build in Dubai platform. Maybe it will take a few days, like 1 week, and to be uploaded as well on the buildingSMART YouTube channel. We submit the link on the chat. We encourage you as well to follow or to join the buildingSMART UAE and to subscribe on the YouTube channel, so you will be got notified and invited for similar future event. So that's all from my side. Engineer Faris, of course, I have to thank you for preparing the invitation and to staying with us. And with that, I wish all of you to have a nice day. Goodbye.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there is any question which is not answered, sorry, we didn't answer all question, you can go back to the survey and submit the question in the last part, or you can contact us through the technical support service, and we will do our best to answer your question. Goodbye.
Thank you.